What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OG GM, coming to you live 9 o'clock in the morning here on a small island off the coast of Costa Rica that we affectionately refer to as Site B. It is Friday, the first, second, third, eighth Friday of the month here in the month of June in the year of our Lord Maki Ito 2023, and raining because I live on the beach in California. Someday I will be thankful the sun comes out, I promise. It's time to take a look at all the Friday tabletop role-playing game news, bits and bobs that have nothing to do with the Wizards of the Coast that we might have missed because we spent the entire week arguing over rules as written and alignment. And of course, the number one story is Delta Green and Dennis Detwiller telling you he doesn't want your money. Well, Dennis, if you don't want their money, I do. So buy my merch. Yeah, don't give this guy money. First off, a shout out to Big D, Double D over at Diversity and Dragons for the continued rapid succession of his channel, Diversity and Dragons, even though he steals most of his ideas from me. But still, congratulations, Double D, on the growth of Diversity and Dragons. And as you may have heard, Double D will now be the new co-host of Inappropriate Characters. He'll be co-hosting that YouTube thing with my buddy Venger and Pundit, who I've never spoken to. But I've spoken to Venger a couple times, and he's a generally cool dude, despite, whatever. So, yeah. So they'll be talking about gaming stuff. I mean, pretty much like I talk about gaming stuff. They'll just have a better lights and sounds and special effects because they understand that crap, but I don't. But we all know the number one source for all your tabletop role-playing game news, weather, and general internet nonsense is me. So let's go to the number one story this Dennis Detwiller seeing. So Dennis has jumped on the pro-LGBTQT bandwagon because it's Pride Month. And as we know, every year, the past couple of years, every company and their dog comes out of the woodworks and suddenly like, we're all supporting Pride. And people are like, oh, yay. Or other people are like, well, screw you. But those of us who have, been around for a while are like, oh, that's great that you're supporting Pride and LGBTQT now. Are you supporting Pride and LGBTQT through the rest of the year? Dennis, how many charities have you donated to? Huh? Deal with LGBTQT issues. What about the rest of the year? What about the rest of the year, Wizards of the Coast? It's great, Wizards of the Coast, that you have a Pride sale up now. What about the rest of the year where you're being sued for homophobia and discrimination? So, yeah, Dennis has decided to jump on the I hate everybody who doesn't agree with me, and if you don't agree with me, fuck you. Kill yourself bandwagon, because that's always a great way to get positive reinforcement. Not only are you setting a bad image for those of us who actually are LGBTQT like myself, but you're generally just making yourself look like a racist idiot because you say these things without thinking about the consequences because you think it's edgy. I'm edgy because I'm pro LGBTQT, and if you're against trans rights, you need to kill yourself. No, you don't. You know what? Dennis, again, your job is not to force your politics down my throat. Whatever you think about behind closed doors is up to you, buddy. As long as you're not hurting anybody else or me or my family, I don't care if you're pro-LGBTQT or you're against it, dude. Now, Delta Green is a product, and that product's job is to make money. So literally telling potential customers you don't want their money and they could kill themselves, well, that's just dumb, dude. That is just literally dumb. Let's just forget all the other stupid things that you've said. You know what? Again, Dennis, if you don't want their money, fine. I do. So send them my way. I will gladly take your money, ladies and gentlemen. We know I will sell out. I've said so since day one. As with regards to my personal beliefs regarding LGBTQT, trans, whatever, do you care? No, because that's not the point of this channel. But the point of this channel is to report news. And if I had product that I think you should buy, which I do, would you care about my politics in regards to how it affects the product I'm selling? No, you shouldn't. You should just care about the quality of the product I'm selling. Like WRETCHED Vigilantes that I just recently did with Miguel and Sylvia. I think it's safe to say I generally disagree with a lot of the politics that come out of their mouth. But you know what? I don't care because I'm just here to sell WRETCHED Vigilantes. and my stuff on Big Geek Emporium that are only a sale for $2 each for a limited time. You can get all 15 issues of Minions on a Mission, each one $2, each one specifically centered around one specific monster. You know what the politics are about that? None. Not one whatsoever. I just want you to buy my merch, and I just want to make the best merch I can possibly make so that you will buy it. Now, Dennis, you're jumping on the I'm edgy pro LGBTQ bandwagon, just like all the other people who are I'm edgy because I'm against this bandwagon and trying to shove that politics down our throat. And you know what? Again, don't care. All you should care about is the quality of Delta Green. And you know what? Delta Green is a great idea, dude. Delta Green is the horror role-playing game everybody who's watched a horror movie wishes they had made, or everybody who's played through a horror role-playing scenario wishes they should make. And anybody who's ever watched a horror movie ever and thought about the logic of the horror movie, and then you look at the premise of Delta Green and you're like, yeah, that's really what we should have done. So if you're not familiar with what the premise of Delta Green originally was, it's not X-Files or anything like that. And literally the name is there, Delta Force Green Beret. So it should give you a general idea. But here's the general premises. Okay, every horror movie ever, something horrible is happening, especially like zombie movies or Jason or whatever. The best way to resolve that something horribly is happening is to have a bunch of teenagers who are completely ill-equipped. Most of them are stupid. Deal with this. And for the next hour and a half, we, the audience, are going to be yelling at the screen of how dumb these kids are. All right. So Delta Green is the one guy who, after listening to the solution for the problem is to send teenagers, goes, you know what? I see your teenager solution. I see your Scooby-Doo solution, but hear me out. And yes, this might cost us a little more, but how about instead of sending a bunch of teenagers to resolve this horrible, horrific, supernatural, demonic insurgents, I don't know, have a drone fly over and just carpet bomb the place with some precision explosions, high explosive armor piercing. And then after the explosions clear, why don't we just send in Delta Force or the Green Berets or Special Forces to mop up? Because, you know, I think a fully well-equipped military unit with all the latest military technology and information gathering skills could probably handle this incursion of supernatural monsters far better than the Scooby-Doo gang. So that's what Delta Green is. Delta Green is, yes, we are aware this exists in the world, and we actually are doing what reasonable people would do when monsters come into the world. We're sending the frickin' army to shoot it. Oh no, the serial killer is chasing me down through this hallway and I'm scantily clad. What should I do? Shoot it. Oh no, this monster has come through this dimensional gate. What should I do? Drone, bomb, shoot it. So that's what Delta Green is. So it's a great idea. Dennis, you've taken this great idea, turned it into a source for your personal politics and made it stupid. And now nobody wants to buy your product. And you're telling people to go fuck themselves. That's just dumb. That's just dumb, dude. You don't want their money, Dennis? Send it to me. I want their money. Moving on to Candle Obscura. The other big news, of course, is what is Candle Obscura and what it is and is not. And will it be the game to topple Wizards of the Coast off the chart? And, you know, all the threats and the negative videos people are making. And there just seems to be some confusion, which I have tried to clarify. But now, again, I have from a relatively reasonable source called Forever Degenerate, who reached out to me and clarified some of the things I might have been getting wrong. So this, I guess he is maybe connected to Critical Role in some way, or at least just, you know, paying much more attention to it. Whatever. I mean, Critical Role, you could reach out to me and let me know what's going on directly. We are technically neighbors. I mean, Ventura is only a hop, skip, and a jump away from Calabasas, where at least, you know, some of you still live. You know, and I know TJ Storm, and you know TJ Storm. So, yeah, okay. So, Candle Obscura, the world and setting, was partially created by Taliesin Jaffe. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Taliesin. I hope I'm pronouncing right. They said so. That's why he played the live action Lightkeeper. He literally wrote the book. Secondly, the Illuminated World system is based upon Blades in the Dark, developed by Critical Role's Darrington Press. Yes, no, yes. Blades in the Dark wasn't developed by Darrington Press. It was developed by a different guy. Matt Mercer had some hand in game development, but he didn't write it. He did not write it or produce it. He probably was in the room. He probably had some ideas. He probably play tested it, but Candle Obscura and Illuminated Worlds are not Matt Mercer productions. So don't blame him or get angry at him or say Matt Mercer has to do something because of, no, it's not his thing. So yeah, so he's you can tell he was intimate with the rules if you watch Candle Obscura when he DM'd the first episode, he was the DM of the first episode. That doesn't mean he'll be the DM of the second episode. But he is focusing on Daggerheart, his D&D replaces, and obviously is therefore not involved with Illuminated Worlds because nowhere in the Illuminated Worlds does it say his name. As regards to Zelda, so the Zelda thing, Nintendo reached out to Matt Mercer, asked them to do the Zelda one-shot because Mercer is the voice of Grandorf in the most recent Zelda game, and probably going forward, he will be the voice of, the character. And I'm sure did he voice characters in Zelda before or somebody else from the team? I mean, we know Laura Bailey seems to voice just everything. She's constantly getting awards for that. Yeah, I know she doesn't do anything, but apparently, yeah, she does. They helped develop the game system. Matt and Powered by the Apocalypse people worked with the Nintendo people to create the Zelda people. They came up with the idea, broached it with Matt. They helped develop the actual game system, so it is a official game for Zelda. They have said so. Nintendo said it's official. Why Powered by the Apocalypse and not Illuminated Worlds? Probably because Illuminated Worlds wasn't ready at that time, and Powered by the Apocalypse was. Who knows? Maybe the guy at Nintendo who spoke to Matt is familiar with Powered by the Apocalypse. I don't know. But more than likely, the reason why they chose Powered by the Apocalypse and then modified it to be the Zelda setting is it was already out there. It was already readily available. It was a name some people might have recognized, and probably at the time when the idea was broached, maybe Illuminated Worlds wasn't progressed enough that they felt comfortable using it for the Zelda, or maybe they wanted to save the playtest for something else like Candle Obscura. So they were very, like the Zelda thing is its own thing. It has nothing to do with anything else we're doing. Will we ever do it again? I don't know. Maybe. Will we use Powered by the Apocalypse? Probably not, because by now Illuminated Worlds is ready. So Zelda Illuminated Worlds crossover would be huge. If they could get an official yes from Nintendo, please go forward and make official American Zelda role-playing games using Illuminated Worlds. That would be amazing. So let's hope they can. So they will probably do it again. The system that they used apparently was very popular. People really liked the way the system was played. So yay, free press for Powered by the Apocalypse. Yay, free press for Blades in the Dark. And yay, more money and attention on Illuminated Worlds that can be taken away from Wizards of the Coast. I hate to be the point in my life where I am now actively hoping Wizards of the Critical Role succeeds, when who knows, just like a year ago, I was talking crap about them. But I change, and my opinion changes. And isn't it nice that I am open-minded enough that I can change my opinion, unlike some people? So there you go. Does that help clarify anything? Probably not. It's Friday. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. It is the 9th day of June, 2023. I have a huge red spot on my cheek because allergies. And that's it. That's really all that's going on in the world. So in regards to your tabletop role-playing game money, please do not give it to the Delta Green guy. Give it to me. Buy WRETCHED Vigilantes over at the WRETCHED site on Big Geek Emporium, and buy my Minions on a Mission adventures also over on Big Geek Emporium. Link down below. Toss me a coin via the Ko-Fi. Help me hit 2,000 subs by the end of the year. And that's it. That's the tabletop role-playing game news for Friday. If anything else happens, I'll tell you about it. But for now, that's it. I'm done. Go home. Drive careful. It's raining.